When I joined ZBC in 1985, as a junior reporter, then I was coming from the Ministry of Information, and Joseph Madhimba was one of the sub-editors, cum presenter. That was the format. Nobody would present news that time without being a sub-editor. It was Joseph Madhimba, Colin Harvey, Noreen Welsh, Titi Vera, Shingrai Tungwarara, Hove, who else? Dokas Chibanda. That was the glorious moment of ZBC, because that time the Europeans who were presenters of the news were going out. The only remainder then was Noreen Welsh. And they presented news in a different way, because each sub-editor will write his own intro, the introduction, in the way he feels okay, he feels right with the diction, with the style. And I still remember Joseph Madhimba was so fond of searching for stories happening in Far East Asia, where East Timor was fighting, Fretlin, Farabundo, Marti National Liberation Army. He would write about the Sarajevo War. He would write, and he was very clear when it came to diction, because most of the presenters were trained by Madhimba and Tungwarara. Madhimba, being that he was very fluent in French, he was an expert on French pronunciation of French words. He was very good at French words. When he was teaching us how to pronounce words, he was very clear. He didn't want anybody with a shrill voice, and he would say, that voice is not broadcasting voice. The broadcasting voice must be thick, heavy, and commanding. Madhimba was very precise, because his voice was also thick. He would say, good evening, this is Joseph Madhimba, the news. You would feel everybody would be captivated by Joseph. And he was a very shy character, not much of a loner. He had a few friends, people like Darlington Minyoro or Tungwarara, they were close. With Madhimba, I kept in touch. Whenever I visited Namibia, I would ask, how is Madhimba? And two times I met him. We went to the school which he was running. He was so happy to see us. When the president, starting with the President Mugabe, whenever he went to Namibia, he would call Zimbabweans at the Kalahari Sands, and he would be there with the other Zimbabweans who are now resident in Namibia. So the last 2 years when I was in Namibia, I didn't see him. I also didn't visit him. But it was said that he passed on. I heard in Okahanja, 60 kilometers away from Windhoek. And I heard that last year he suffered from a stroke. So may his soul rest in peace. He was one of our finest news presenters.